You know, one of the bigger bloodied battles that we've seen when it comes to image management out there is which software do you use to manage all these devices, right? Because when it comes to virtualization, the one thing that we know for sure is it's going to grow. It's going to grow like crazy, right? You're going to start to put one machine on, and then you're going to start adding more and more and more and more. And your network's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as it shrinks in size, because that's the beauty of virtualization, is that now I can actually have so much software on my network, so many devices, all contained in one, let me just change colors here, in one simple device. All these servers can be wrapped in. Now that's pretty groovy, right? Except the problem really is when it comes right down to it, is how do I manage all that software? How do I actually control those devices on the network? Well, and that's where we come to two different types of software. We have Puppet and we have Chef. Now look, trust me, there are more than just two right now when it comes to image management out there, but these are the more popular ones that are on the market today. But make no mistake about it, Puppet and Chef and other variants of those manage the images on your virtual machines. Now let's start at a high level here. Puppet is actually made by a company called Puppet Labs. They're the ones who actually write the code, and they own the software, own the intellectual property, that kind of stuff. Chef is made by a company called Opscode. Now, realistically, when it comes right down to it, they're pretty much the same in what they do. It used to be a while back that Puppet had more, support on different platforms, and then Chef actually picked it up. And typically what we've noticed in this type of battle is that if you like a feature, let's say on something like Chef, give it a couple months and you'll see it right over here on Puppet as well. They tend to compete with each other, kind of hand and foot, if you will. Now, one of the things that really make them stand out is who likes to use them. Well, when you're looking at Puppet, Puppet actually is used mainly by sysadmins, right? Our networking folks, they just love how Puppet actually works on the network. Why? Because it uses what we call a model-driven program. It works a little bit like Visio, kind of hate to throw out another term there, but it works based upon models, and you can actually build these models out. Chef, on the other hand, if you will, change colors. Chef is what we call object-oriented, right? That is actually true type, or not object, Jiminy Christmas, I'm thinking object-oriented code here. This is actually what we call procedural code. I'm just going to write proceed there because I'm not going to be able to spell it. But it's procedural in nature. And that means that it's really loved by the DevOps team, right? People who are programmers, people who are developers, they actually love Chef. And it kind of goes without saying that realistically, if you're going to start using Puppet, Puppet is easier to get going, and it has fantastic support. For a long time, actually, it had the best support out there in the open community. It had great groups, that type of stuff, and you could easily find reusable, models on the network you could just kind of plug in and snap. And so a lot of managers will typically gravitate towards that one because it's quicker to get up and going by the sysadmins and stuff. Chef, on the other hand, takes a little more time to get up and going, but since it's actually procedural oriented in nature, it actually is a lot more powerful. You can really manipulate your configs. You can do a lot more with it on your network, and it does give you the ability to not just manage those configs or those images, but really modify them, change them, tweak them, that kind of stuff. Again, I'm going to have Puppet people out there saying, you can do the same thing with Puppet and all that stuff. And it's true, guys. I mean, it's a fight back and forth either way. But when it comes right down to it, meat and taters, what do? They're image management for your virtual network. That's what they both do. They're both considered open source. You can actually download the free versions of them and try them. And then they start to get fee-based once you start going to an enterprise class of model. And then you're charged, a pretty nominal amount and stuff. Actually, a really small amount when you're looking at, the power they do. Try them both. See which one fits for your network. See which one fits best for your IT staff out there in general. Realistically, what I'm noticing is that in the United States, I'm seeing a lot more people use Chef. For whatever reason, I'm seeing this being the most popular program in the US. I'm seeing Puppet kind of everywhere else in the world. So a lot of times it's going to depend upon where your DC is, the skills of your people, that type of stuff. They both work fantastic. They both offer just amazing flexibility, and it's stuff that we need on the network. But go check out Puppet Labs or go check out Ops Code, read the documentation, read the stuff, and then make your decision and keep on coding.